Happening now, a warship with a black box detector is on its way from Australia to search for the missing Malaysian jetliner. But it could take days for the ship to reach the search zone. Meanwhile, planes are back in the air, searching the ocean for any sign of debris. Yesterday, the crew aboard a Chinese search plane said it spotted a suspicious orange object thought to be a life vest from the airliner, but it turned out to be a dead jellyfish. It's now been 22 days into the search, and searchers still have not found any sign of the missing plane. Several dozen Chinese relatives of passengers on that flight are in Malaysia this morning, demanding to meet with top officials for more information about what happened. They want the government to apologize for its handling of the search. The 29 family members who arrived overnight staged a protest just hours after flying into Malaysia. Two-thirds of the passengers on the missing flight were Chinese, and their relatives have expressed deep frustration with Malaysian authorities since the plane went missing 3 weeks ago. As CNN's Sarah Sidner reports, they feel trapped.
Privacy.
For weeks, Malaysian Airlines representatives in Kuala Lumpur have been overtly protective of the families of those aboard flight MH370, shielding them from everything, including the media. The families initially appreciated it, but some of the family members from China now say Malaysian Airlines staff have gone too far, making them feel more like captives than guests in their hotel.
I just wanted to come and meet the minister and meet other family members, but I was not allowed to leave, and they wouldn't arrange transportation. They wouldn't even let me take a taxi. I lost my freedom.
Tempers flared Saturday when the Mandarin-speaking families in this hotel were told they could not attend a briefing for the Malaysian families. Most of the Chinese and Malaysian families are housed in separate hotels and have separate briefings in their native languages. Waiting for details of their loved ones has been excruciating. So with no briefing in Mandarin, the Chinese families asked if they could attend the Malaysian briefing. The answer was no. The Chinese families balked. They even tried to hail a cab and were stopped from doing that too. About an hour later, after some arguing, Malaysian Airlines finally offered to take them to the briefing. But when they arrived at the Everly Hotel, the Chinese families were not allowed into the briefing and told to wait in the room next door. Finally, with frustrations boiling over, Malaysian officials came to them. This is video taken from inside the private meeting as the Chinese families met with the CEO of Malaysian Airlines, a translator, the transportation minister, and his wife. A pregnant woman whose husband is missing begins by asking authorities if they will search as long as it takes.
Can you give her the assurance that I promise her I will do everything within my power?
Let's say if he's injured, at least I can see him. Now, he's not here. He went missing. It's been so many days, and there isn't any evidence.
She is comforted by the wife of the Malaysian transportation minister. But she reminds Malaysian officials that this is not the time to make the families' lives more difficult by restricting their movements.
Please tell your staffs not to regulate our families' movements. They cannot handle another shock. Please let them be free.
Already prisoners of their circumstance, the families say all they want is the truth. Sarah Sidner, CNN, Kuala Lumpur.
Several local organizations will host a march in downtown Colorado Springs today to celebrate the life and legacy of a civil rights leader. Looking ahead this morning, Cesar Chavez Day is tomorrow on his birthday, but people around the nation will be marching today to commemorate him. The march in Colorado Springs will begin at 1 o'clock this afternoon at the Pioneers Museum. Community leaders will be speaking about Chavez's accomplishments as an educator, an environmentalist, a civil rights leader, and a farm worker. Aztec dancers will then lead the march to Acacia Park. Events nationwide to honor Chavez are happening just as a film about his life was released. His movement gained support from people of all walks of life. But even with a movie out now, not everyone knows about Chavez. Only 8 states celebrate his birthday as an official holiday, including Colorado. But there's now a petition urging the president to make Cesar Chavez Day a national day of service similar to Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Supporters want to continue educating youth about his legacy and his battle for social justice. The purpose of the national holiday would be to encourage community service. And we want to hear from you this morning about that push to make Cesar Chavez Day a national day of service.